If you guys are in need of any grinding services, hit up my guy Rose NBA on Twitter. From domination to getting you guys a 95 plus overall hidden gem, he does it all. What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be doing a tier list of the top power forwards right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Taking a look at who is worth picking up for your specific squad. Now, I apologize if I say the word specific too much. It's a habit. I need to break it. Thanks for pointing those types of things out in the comments. Appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Hit the noti because we might have a new series coming soon. I don't want to spill nothing, but we're going to have some fire coming on this channel coming soon. So make sure to smash that subscribe button. Power forward position. When I look at it here, it's not super strong. It's not super stout. Now, if somebody primarily is a center, they might not be on this list. However, a lot of the centers that can play power forward are featured. Now, if there is a guy like LeBron James that is primarily a small forward, he is not going to be featured. Same thing with a guy like Paolo Banchero. Go see where they're at on the small forward list. Now, as we do dive into this, let's start off with Kevin McHale. I don't know, man. Kevin McHale is not great. When Kevin McHale came out, he wasn't even better than the best player in his set. Like, he came out in the exact same set as Jack Sigma, I do believe. 80s. Yeah, and Jack Sigma walks circles around what Kevin McHale can do. So, I mean, that's the tough part. Like, Jack Sigma, honestly, at the power forward position, he's maybe a little too slow, but I still like him enough to maybe put him at B tier. Kevin McHale is D tier. He stinks. He doesn't do you any good on the floor. And that's obviously a lot of times what I look at. Does the card do you any good? For Kevin McHale, he does you no good. He's absolutely horrible. D tier. Bob McAdoo up next. Is he A tier or is he S tier? I want to put Bob McAdoo at S tier. I just don't think I can. I don't think he is the, top, let's say, 5 power forward in the game anymore on this game. I still like Bob McAdoo. I still think the card's elite on both sides of the ball. He's going to knock down shots. Defensively, he's nearly perfect, but I don't think he quite is S tier. Joakim Noah up next. Probably A tier for Joakim Noah. I mean, I don't think he is, though. It's hard to compare him to Jack Sigma because they're different cards. I do think Bob McAdoo is better than Joakim Noah, though. I'm going to put him at B tier. The thing about Joakim Noah is he going to consistently green shots? That's the question I would ask. And for me, I don't know. At the time I'm recording this, so I'm going to put him at B tier. Dirk Nowitzki up next. I mean, he's probably better than McHale, but he's not great. C tier maybe for Dirk. I mean, he's better than Kevin McHale, for sure. Kevin McHale is dog water, but I don't know if I can go any higher. C tier, I think, is the right spot for Dirk in my team. And next up, we do see a big Ben Wallace, a Galaxy Opal from the MyTEAM Festival set. I don't know. Ben Wallace isn't really that bad, but he's not that good. Is he? The question of the day is he as good as Bob McAdoo? I don't know. And I normally don't talk about cards, but I'll talk about Ben Wallace quick for the sake of this video. He's only got a 64 3 ball. And so, like, yes, defensively he's off the charts good, but with the 64 3 ball, I've honestly got to put him at B tier. And I get it, guys. He's going to be one of the best defensive players on this list. I understand that. I get it. It's just one of those things that can only take you so far. You can be a perfect defense player. Ben Wallace's release isn't bad, but we've seen it with some other cards where, they are really good, but their release might not be the best, like a Dennis Rodman type player, and so they can't be super tall. Ben Wallace, I'm going to go B tier. If you can consistently green with him, you could probably go higher with him. Hakeem Olajuwon up next. I'm going to go A tier. I know some people might not like that, but at this stage, he's going to green shots. He's going to play good defense. He's got a good player build. I think he does deserve A tier, does Hakeem the Dream. Jermaine O'Neal up next. I know he's free, but he's not very good. C tier probably. Like, he's just objectively not a very good card on this game. It really comes down to Jermaine O'Neal. His release really leaves a ton to be desired, and I just feel like he's the type of card, if you've got him on your court, and I don't want to say he's a complete liability because he is good defensively and I don't hate him, but it's like his release at this stage is going to hurt you quite a bit. AC Green up next. Weird type of card here. Badge-wise, stat-wise, might not be that good. I think his stats are okay. Badges, more than anything, aren't that great. But he's got a great release. And so I think AC Green is deserving of B tier, whereas if you pick him up, you're probably going to have success with him because he's kind of training wheels to green with. I mean, I think he's got that Devin Booker base. And so I think B tier is the right spot for AC Green right now in this game. Kareem up next. I think you've got to throw Galaxy Opal Kareem at S tier. It's just one of those things. I don't necessarily love to do it because his release is on the slower side of things. He, his stats badges are fine. He is 7'2". I think you've got to throw him at S tier. I just want you guys to know and realize his release could be a liability for you. So I don't think Kareem's perfect or anything even really close. He is a really cheesy card to run at the power forward position, though. So it really depends what you're looking at. If you're looking for a cheesy card at the power forward position, Kareem might be your guy. If you're looking for a guy to stretch the court, stuff like that, there are other options other than Kareem. Jaren Jackson Jr., still to this day, I think I've got to go S tier. I think I've got to. And I go back and forth with Jaren because it's like, sometimes I feel like, you know what, eventually he's going to become outdated, but then I go and look at the card again and it's like, okay, he's perfect defensively. Badge-wise, he's got 12 Hall of Famers. He basically is a hidden Galaxy Opal. Weird card with Jaren, but I think I've got to respect it. Jaren, S tier. Next up, Z-Bo, Zach Randolph. I don't know, man. He's not very good whatsoever. D tier probably, like... It's Zach Randolph. Honestly, I'll ask you guys, when was the last time you saw a Zach Randolph card that was decent in my team? It's probably been a while. Chris Bosh, not great either. Honestly, at this stage, I'd take Dirk and Jermaine O'Neal over Chris Bosh, D tier. Giannis Antetokounmpo up next, S tier. S tier. And honestly, the big deal here for Giannis compared to Kareem is I think Giannis is going to green more shots than Kareem. Now, there's a lot that goes into it, though. When you compare Giannis to Kareem, obviously Kareem is 7'2". Giannis is only 6'11". Giannis, badge-wise, in my opinion, is way better than Kareem. And so there's a lot that goes into it. The big thing for me is Giannis has a 73 3-ball. Kareem's only got a 64. I think Giannis is definitely better than Kareem. And if you're going to pick up one of those guys for your power forward pick position, it better be Giannis Antetokounmpo because he is, side-by-side, the better option when you do compare the two cards. And next up, Pink Diamond Giannis. And this one's tough because I want you guys to know I love Pink Diamond Giannis. And honestly, I'm going to do it. Because if Jaren Jackson Jr.'s diamond card is at S tier, Pink Diamond Giannis has to go S tier as well. He's not as good as Galaxy Opal Giannis. I do want to make that known. However, if you're comparing Diamond Giannis to Pink Diamond Giannis, or if you're comparing Diamond Jaren to Pink Diamond Giannis, I think Giannis has to be at S tier. I do think you can make the case Jaren Jackson Jr. is better, but I do think both cards deserve to be at that S tier. So I'm going to put them both up there, all the way up at S tier. Pink Diamond Kareem up next. You're not S tier. You're going to go at A tier. The thing with this is he's just not quite as complete as the Opal Kareem. He's still really good, still a really solid player for you guys. He's just not that Opal Kareem. If you look at his stats, you'll definitely see, and even badges. Like he doesn't even, I don't even know if he has Hall of Fame rebound chaser, those type of things. Definitely holds the card back a little bit. Plus, Galaxy Opal Kareem is going to just green more shots than the Pink Diamond Kareem as well. Pink Diamond KG at this stage, probably B tier. I feel like as times went on, I've just gotten lower and lower on Kevin Garnett. Not that the card is unplayable, not that the card is useless. It's just for me, like his release isn't necessarily that great at this stage. Furthermore, I just feel like, what does he really give you on the court? His release is baited. There's just things on the court that bug me about KG. And it really, a lot of it starts and ends with that release. And it's like, at least with Giannis, in his low 3-ball, he offensively gives you something, right? He can make plays offensively, can handle the ball really well. And when I'm looking at KG, I don't see a lot of those, traits that can make him do other things outside of be like a 3-and-D power forward in the game. And his release is not great to be that 3-and-D power forward. Bob Pettit up next is extremely good. Now, the question is Bob Pettit S tier? Is he A tier? And that's the real question here. Honestly, Bob Pettit's S tier, and there's really no questions asked. Look, Bob Pettit's going to be hard to get. All of the Galaxy Opals that came out in the MyTEAM Festival drop are so rare. You're not going to be able to easily get Bob Pettit. However, if you get the card, he is extremely, extremely good on this game. He's going to green shots at a very high level. He's going to play solid defense. He's only 6'8", so that obviously can hurt, or 6'9", that can hurt him a little bit, but I don't think it hurts him enough for him not to be at S tier. Bob Pettit is an absolute beast. David West, D tier. I don't want to make this clear. David West is definitely playable on this game, But with his stats and badges, you can only go D tier. If you're higher than D tier of David West, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I think that's literally as high as you can go. He's fine. Definitely a card that you can, go out there and compete with, especially for, his price right now is not bad whatsoever. I just don't think he's perfect. D tier isn't bad for a diamond, but that's where he belongs. PJ Brown, I'm throwing you up to B tier as well. Right in there with AC Green. PJ Brown is complete, man. He is a complete diamond on this game. Definitely a card that if you pick up, he will probably lead you to a lot of success. Now, at the time I'm recording this, don't actually know the prices of a guy like PJ Brown or AC Green, so just keep an eye on them. If they're cheap, definitely could be worth a look at picking up. Pink Diamond Zion F tier. He might be the only card at F tier. I mean, he's 6'6". His release is baited. I don't even know how he got a pink diamond on this game, but he stinks. Like, Zion is absolutely garbage on this game, and if you're running him, I don't know what to tell you. You're lost. Charles Oakley up next. Not great, release. His release is on slow. But yet, if you look at Charles Oakley's stat and badges, he looks fantastic. So he's a weird card again, stat-wise, badge-wise, elite. Charles Oakley base on slow is crazy. I don't know, man. I think he's still B tier. Because the way I would phrase it is he better than Jermaine O'Neal stat badge-wise? I think he is. And so I'm going to go B tier. I'm going to go B tier just because, yes, his release stinks, but he gives you some things on the field. So B tier for Charles Oakley, I do think is the right spot. Willis Reed up next. At this stage, is he A tier? I think he is A tier still. I do. And I don't necessarily love my A tier. I think some people should be moved up to B tier. But it really depends on what you're wanting. Like, the thing about Willis Reed is this. His release is going to be relatively fast, relatively quick, so you should be able to green with it more times than not. However, he isn't, he's a diamond, so I think he's only got 5 Hall of Famers, maybe 6. I don't know. He's just a weird card because he is a diamond card, but I actually really like him. So I'm going to go A tier. I think Willis Reed is good, especially once you get the hang of that release. I did include Jonathan Isaac on this list, and I want to put him at A tier. Reason I included Jonathan Isaac is I personally like him more at the power forward position than the small forward position. And I do think he's an A tier power forward on this game. Pink Diamond Joel Embiid. I don't know, man. I'm putting him at B tier. I don't think B tier is right there. I got to put him at A tier. I got to. It just comes down to I think Joel Embiid is better at the center position. I definitely do believe that. However, he's A tier still at the power forward position. Moses Malone at this stage, not great. D tier. Just not going to shoot the ball at a high level. Boris Diaw, I'm going to go B tier with. If you're looking stat-wise, Boris Diaw is so good, so complete. Badge-wise, so good, so complete. It's just his release is not that good. So I think B tier for Boris Diaw is right. However, Boris Diaw he's not bad. I mean, he's such a complete option for you guys. And if you're looking for a card that is super, super cheap to pick up, Boris Diaw is going to be a solid option for you guys at B tier. Sean Kemp is a stud, guys. I'm going to go A tier with Sean Kemp. And I never thought after the Diamond Sean Kemp that any other future Sean Kemps would be this high. But Sean Kemp is good on this game. He's smooth. This card is super complete. Does it all on the court. Can shoot the ball. Can dunk the ball. Can play good defense. Can handle it a little bit. Sean Kemp is A tier. No, I'm not going to think twice about it because I think the card is an absolute stud. Next up, Dolph Schayes. Yikes. I'm going to go D tier. I do think he's better than Zion. But I do think at the end of the day, he still is a D tier. Pascal Siakam, C tier. Like, Siakam for his time was okay. It's just that time has came, that time has went. He is no longer very good. He's undersized at that power forward position. C tier is the right spot for Pascal Siakam. Karl Malone up next. I think B tier for Karl Malone. And it's just tough. I think Moses Malone actually may deserve C tier. And the thing about it is, the reason it's so tough is because it's like both of these cards for their times were so good. I just think their times are over with. Karl Malone can still play, can still shoot the ball. I'm going to go B tier with him. D12, Galaxy Open Dwight Howard. He's got to go at S tier. And I know what people are going to say, Ty, Dwight's release stinks. I get that. But if you look at the overall Dwight Howard card, he's an absolute stud, guys. He dunks the ball well. His defense is fantastic. He honestly shoots the ball decent. His release is slow, I get it, but his player build's fantastic. He's got to go at S tier. Next up, we do see Chris Webber, Galaxy Open Chris Webber. I'm going to go A tier. Now, why A tier? I just don't think Chris Webber does as much as some of the guys at S tier. Like, to me, he's basically like a Sean Kemp's version of a Galaxy Opal. Like, I don't think he's any better than Sean Kemp. The only thing that's higher is his overall tier. So, for me, Chris Webber, you're fine, but you're A tier. If you're paying a crazy price for him, I'm sorry. Caleb, not great, D tier. Anthony Davis, maybe the best power forward in the game, S tier. Right up there with Giannis. I mean, those two guys are two guys that if you use, you're going to have so much success at the power forward position. The problem is both those cards are super expensive on this game. Jalen Williams, Pink Diamond. I'm going to go D tier. Now, I like Jalen Williams badge as I like his release. I like a lot of what the card gives you. Now, what do I not like about Jalen Williams is he's 6'5" at the 4. Like, what are we really talking about here? Last but certainly not least, Pink Diamond, Evan Mobley. I'm going to go B tier. I think he's similar to KG, whereas, like, he's going to play defense. He's going to knock down shots. Mobley's release is just slow. But defensively, the card's really good. The problem is they can't really be a 3-and-D option because their releases are pretty poor on this game. That's going to wrap it up for my power forward tier list. Honestly, I think this is one of the better tier lists that I've done in recent memory. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on it. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.